um, salam and hello and bonjour and all those other things. I was asked about why I converted, and I'm sure that a lot of my old high school pals who have searched me and found me on Facebook were like, what? Because this that you see now is definitely not what you saw back then. And even it's not just the covering, it's the whole that I have faith, because I was a very outspoken atheist back in the day. I'm so old now. I can't believe how old I'm getting. So I guess, how did I come to this? Let's see. It would be in high school, and I had my boyfriend at the time, who was really great for me, wasn't he? Anyways, it wasn't the best relationship. He was kind of a donkey. But it is what it is. Anyways, then I got pregnant and dropped out, and I gave my baby up for adoption and blamed God for how horrible my life was. So I turned my back on him. And what can you say? So then I healed a little bit, I guess, in myself, and left numbnuts, and started searching. So I went back to I was raised as a, kind of a joke to say I was raised as a Lutheran. I was baptized as a Lutheran, and I went I remember watching Laura Ingalls Wilder, Little House, and you know, always excited because they went to church, and I wanted to go to church, and I asked my mom once why we don't go to church, and she said, oh, I'm sorry, Mom, she said, because we're Lutheran, we only go to church for weddings and funerals. I know that that's a lie, but I believed her, and looking back on it now, it was really kind of funny. But anyways, that's what we went to church for, weddings and funerals. That was it. So I found a Lutheran church, and I went to it, and it was okay, and got the Bible and read into it, and I didn't feel it. I didn't feel what I saw these people around me feeling, and so I looked elsewhere. I went into all the isms, okay? I went into Taoism, I went to Buddhism, I went to Judaism, I searched everything, I thought, everything. I searched all kinds of faiths and all corners of the world that I could find, and nothing hit home for me. And so I gave up, and I was like, okay, that's it. If these things aren't right, and I can't find anything that is right, then that's it. There's nothing for me. There's no God. So I went back to that sort of atheism, but still searching, right? I guess that's not really an atheist if you're searching for God, but whatever. Beside the point. Then one day I was working with a born-again Christian girl. And this is nothing against born-again Christians, but she was one of those born-again Christians that was like, woohoo, off-the-wall kooky, okay? And she said, she was talking about it, and I am very good at doing when people are talking to me, because I really, half the time, don't care. Anyways, she was talking to me, and then she said, when I make love to my husband, I'm making love to Jesus Christ. And I was like, what? I'll let you all digest that for a little bit, because it took me a moment, and I was like, you are off your rocker. You gotta be kidding me. How psycho are you? You're nuts. And then I went on to say how, because I had somehow formulated in my mind, probably back when I was 10, 11-ish, that I could not believe that Jesus was the Son of God. He's God. Why does he need a son? He's God. Is he going to die that he needs a son? And Jesus is walking around on earth and eating and pooping, and that's very ungodly to me. So I had that kind of basis in my mind, I guess, to begin with, and so I had said this to her, and she didn't like that, and so we kind of had a spat, nothing like fist fight, just back and forth, right, with my somewhat atheist views against her very strong born-again Christian views. And then along came my boss, who happened to be Muslim, and split us up. But then he took me aside and he said, "You have some interesting ideas. I'm going to bring you some literature." So the next day he came back, and I don't know if he went to the mosque or whatever, but he brought some pamphlets about Islam, and I gobbled them up. I could not read them fast enough. And then he brought me back a Quran, and I read it. I didn't read the whole Quran. I read the very first, it's called the opening, Surat al-Fatiha, which is very similar to some of the things, I guess, in Christianity, right? But when you are faced with the truth, it is absolutely undeniable. And that was undeniable to me. I knew. It is literally, what, 6 or 7 verses? Doesn't even take up a quarter of a page. And I knew that I had found the religion that I've been searching for. And then I was scared poopless, because even back then, this was, oh gosh, this was almost 13 years ago. Even back then, Islam was pretty much synonymous with terrorism. And I thought, how can I know that this is the right faith for me when, you know, you're hearing about suicide bombers and hijackers and yada yada yada, right? But the more I studied and the more I read into it, and I certainly didn't just take the information from my boss. I have a brain. I use my brain, and I studied. The truth is the truth, no matter how many ways you try and turn it and spin it and wrap it. It is what it is, and I knew that that's what I needed to do. And I became a Muslim. And then I married my boss. But yeah, that's my story. So I hope you all found it interesting, or it answered some questions. If you still have questions, ask them, I'll answer them. And all you haters out there, if you're going to ask me rude, disgusting, horrible questions, or say horrible, disgusting comments, they'll be deleted, okay? Because this is my story, and I'm not going to have you go all nasty on my stuff. If you don't like it, don't watch it. Bye-bye.